Okay, so I should be live now. Can you see my screen now?
Not yet. Are you shouldn't you share your screen, right? No?
Yeah, I've clicked. So let me just type it in.
There's a green icon with an arrow.
Okay,
there it is. I can see.
Great. So you can see my screen. Okay,
Yes.
super. So let's get into it. Then I'll try and explain a bit about how it's working now. So I actually deployed this version onto the demo on Heroku app. So if you go to the demo, you'll see that it looks like this now, but through it very quickly. So there's the admin section, and you're probably already familiar with the properties listing and all of that, right? Editing properties.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's not changed much. What's changed now is that settings. There's a little bit more that you can do. I think you probably had all of these, the default currency and stuff like that. You might not have the Google Analytics ID on yours, because now you can add a Google Analytics ID and track it.
I do have it.
Oh, you have it. Okay, cool. And the appearance hasn't changed so much. There's now the raw CSX section. Otherwise, not much. But this is new. So now you can actually. So
that's
if I
already
take
done.
kind of admin, now it should take the admin off the links. Oh no, it hasn't. Okay, I'll have to check what's going on there, because that should. It seems it does an error when it's saved. Okay, it seems to have saved successfully. Yeah, okay, so that seems to have saved it successfully. But it's still appearing on there. Refresh. Okay, that's something.
In the meantime, I just want to tell you that I started this course I told you.
Okay. And how was it?
It is good. It is good. It's really from the basics. So I think I'm gonna answer a lot of basic questions I had.
Okay, cool. But you're enjoying it? Is it? It's useful? Is it a useful course? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
Okay.
From time to time, maybe it's a little slow because I'm at the beginning right now.
Okay.
But it's really good. Oh, the new icon is cool.
The what? Sorry.
The new icon for the bathroom is cool.
Yeah, it's a bit better, right?
Yeah.
Actually, so it looks like the one thing that is not working is the admin link. So the other ones are toggling okay, and it's also toggling okay here. So for the footer, you can add links.
Exactly.
And that's working fine. But the only one that isn't working is so home by that works there. But this admin one, I need to double check it. So it's not actually toggling when you. That's a bug.
But anyways, it's a feature you already.
Yeah, I've already looked at. So I'll fix the bug, and that should work fine. So the main thing that's changed now is that over here you have a pages section, and you can control some stuff about each page. So for example, home page.
Okay.
You can add a little bit of HTML, and it's just the standard HTML editor. So
that's really cool. That is how that is maybe where we can add some
testimonials and stuff. Yeah,
exactly, good reviews or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, it kind of helps with a few use cases. So I figured I'd add that. But what I haven't done yet is given the choice to move it to different places. So it's always going to display the HTML here. In the database, I save the order of the items here, an interface. So you could go into the database and change the order, and it will change the order of these sections. But each of these is a section. Well, this, that, and this one here. So this, at the moment, I haven't got a bit of code, an interface for hiding or showing this section, but that's what we can look at a bit later on.
Yeah,
the services you offer, for example, if I turn it off and I say it's not visible, then it should right. So that's hidden it from here, and if I go back and turn it on, it shows it over there.
Shows it back.
So basically, you can control what's displayed, and similarly for, I don't know, the about us. There's an HTML section, and there's this kind of editable combination of HTML and an image.
Cool.
This page, with the selling page, so there's no kind of widgets or anything. Actually, I've hidden it from the navigation. So let me just, so let's enable sell, and okay, so now what happened there? Did I save it? No, for some reason that didn't seem to save. Okay, so that's a sell page, and that's just HTML. So yeah, if you wanted to have, you know, a post about why people should sell with you and so on, you can add it over there. So yeah, I wanted to explain a bit about how you would page and how you would add sections and so on. I could start with explaining how this renders. Yeah, I'm not very good at this because I've just been working on it on my own. So when I have to explain it to someone else, it's kind of I'll see what I can do. So when you go to different pages, you can see that it's making an API call here to a page, that page. So the sell page or the about us page, and if you look what's in page, it's basically information about the title, the page contents, etc. Now, how do I explain how all of that works? Let me go into the code section, and so I'm gonna try and explain it from the controllers. A good job of that, and if it's too confusing, then I'll try and find another way to explain it. So right now, if you go to for example the locale/p/, it will come to the pages controller, and it will try to find the page by the slug, by that yeah. So in this case, the sell page. And once it finds that page, it goes through the ordered visible page contents and displays each of those as a block on the page. So console and say get a page equals pwv page dot find slug, and it will be the cell page. Does that make sense to you what I'm doing here?
So all the configurations in a database,
like the configuration for that particular page.
Exactly.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Like what I've just done now? Like you understand the database console and retrieving stuff directly from the database console. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't worked much with Postgres, but
okay. You do you know how to get to the console? Because
I think it's just PG.
So right now, because we're working in the Rails engine.
Mm-hmm.
When we're over here, so this is the root. So it's where the app config everything is. All the code here gets packaged as a gem, and to use it in a website, you need to import that gem. You've already done that, right? Or you already understand that concept, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So while we're developing, called the spec/dummy directory. And if you go to that directory, then it's as though you have a Rails app that's using this gem that you're working on at the moment. From this type Rails console, and it actually goes into the Rails console. So it's not exactly the it's the Rails console. I probably explained it wrong. Okay. So that's what I'm the same console that I'm in the screen above. So it's from this console that I'm able to go in, and I'm not accessing the database directly with Postgres. I'm using Active Records. So
okay,
page is the page model. I'm using the page model to find an item, and that's a page item, and that's exactly what I'm doing over here.
Find by slug is kind of a method or something.
Say that again. Sorry.
Find by slug.
Okay, so slug is actually a column. So if I do page.slug, you'll find that the slug is called cell.
Okay.
Rails by default has some automatically generated helpers. So normally you would say find, and you'd pass the ID, and it would find your page, right?
Okay.
Yeah. The default we're finding, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if you have a column called, columns here. So we have a column called link title. So automatically, Rails, without us doing anything, has created a finder called find by
link title.
So now I don't know what the link titles are, but if there's a link title box, find. Oh, hang on, doesn't it have find by link title? I think it's probably because it's a text string or something. Should, like with a find by visible, for example, it should do. Yeah, so find by visible, true. I think it doesn't work with link title. Why? Oh, is link title. Let's see. Link title. Link title isn't directly on there. I don't know. I'm not too sure why it doesn't automatically generate the title method. But yeah, find by slug is basically basically a method that will find by the slug, by what's present in the slug column.
I get it.
Okay. So now on that page, there's the ordered visible contents, which is basically a list of the page contents are. Let me show you over here. So on the page model, I have it has many contents through the page contents model. So each page has contents, and that's basically a list of content models, each of which has got first raw. It has some HTML associated with it.
I get
so yeah, the ordered visible list is basically a list of those items can be displayed on the page. So I go through each item and I push the raw content into an array, and that array is what I'll use to display the items on the page. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you wanted to add the testimonials, you could, like you said, just, you know, HTML on this, in this page here for your testimonials, but you could also create a new item here.
A new section.
So yeah, so the services you offer, HTML content, main header, and then you could have another thing here called testimonials. I wanted to explain how you do that, but when I think about it, it's going to be quite tricky because it'll take me more than an hour to explain it. I'm not so good at explaining these things. Maybe while you're working around with it, you can figure it out for yourself. But, do you want me to try quickly explaining it now, or do you think it will be probably too much for now?
Maybe when I'm already more familiar with everything you have done.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think it would be easier for you to explain something to me. I mean, I'll get it faster, I think.
Okay, cool. So we'll have another call, and by that time, maybe before then, we'll exchange a few emails, and I'll see if I can explain it in writing. And you know, next time I'll try and explain it, and hopefully by then, you know, you'll know the code a bit better, and I'll be able to explain it a bit better as well. So, okay.
Yeah, no problem.
So yeah, for now, if you want to add it manually, you can just use the HTML content. Well, that's the bit about the testimonial tabs. Toggling the properties on the home page, that would be a similar thing. So we would need to add the properties as then have the option to make it visible or not visible on the page. But tricky to explain right now, so maybe we'll leave it to next. So let's look at the managing the admin users. So with that, let me explain a bit about how I'm managing users at the moment, because I'm actually using device. So if you, oh yeah, you mentioned something about the what was it?
Oh yeah, in the other version.
Yeah, there was an option to do something. I can't remember.
Yeah, there
was it manage?
There was something like register or something.
Yeah, that was a register option, which doesn't make sense in this context because people are not directly registering. Have you used device before, the device gem?
No.
Okay, so let me try and explain a bit about
is that how
the device gem, because
the accounts are managed?
The accounts managed with a gem called device, and basically way to handle it is to manage it outside of the admin interface. This admin interface communicates with the backend using and with it doesn't do a page refresh. So when you swap between pages, it doesn't do a complete reload. It just makes calls to the JSON API. Does that make sense when I say that?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. With authentication stuff, rarely when you change stuff, you want to do a complete page refresh, which is what happens. So it's better to have a root, instead of under admin and users, you just have a root here, which is it's a standard Rails page, and you can manage users there. So with this, I'll just give a high-level overview, but you'll have to kind of read up a bit on device to kind of understand how it works. But it's basically like an engine which is installed, and it generates its own. It has its own routes. So yeah, there's a lot of explanation here. I don't know which bits to start with. Let me start with the roots file in my application. So if I go to roots, there should be a device. All right. So yeah, it's a bit confusing, but in the locale scope, which the locale is basically the language, whether it's English, Spanish, French, and the root under the root users. This and okay, I think this is just to display a success message when you edit the user. Loads the user's root, which has a bunch of controllers. It looks like right now I've only enabled the registrations controller, but let me see if maybe right now I can actually add the edit controller. So let's draw. See registration. And remember how you. Okay, let me just find registrations. So the registrations controller is basically for editing and managing a user, but there should be a controller for creating the user, which I'd never added. So what you would need to do basically is add that.
Add the create user. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to find out if I can get you started on now, or do you feel that's something you could investigate yourself, or do you need a bit more? Should we spend a bit more time looking at that now?
I think right now it's fine. I'm
Okay.
I should have a big read there and then
Okay,
start
cool.
trying stuff out.
Okay. Basically, in here somewhere, they'll explain a bit about how you can. All right, so there we go. So the update is in the registrations controller. But, oh, I see. So the registration controller create. So in the create method, maybe the create root is already registered. Let me just check if there is. Because it's a method in the no root much, just uses of create. Registrations. I'll have to. Actually, there's also initial, which
I'm sorry. For what?
it's the initializer file. And the initializers, there's a device initializer file. It will explain a bit about it also in the gem. So, so that it explains about what you can configure in the initializers file over here. And maybe in here is where registrable. These, when the device basically works with a model that you use for authentication. Typically, it's called a user. Yeah, and this declaration is what registers device for the user. So that you need to make some changes here. I can't remember off the top of my head. Actually, there may well be something on the wiki. The wiki is quite useful as well for this. So sometimes they just within. Look, there we go. This is exactly what you want. So an admin can edit and add users.
That is all the information you have to read.
So, okay, it seems like it's not so simple. It seems like out of the box, it doesn't let you do that. But have a look and see if you can figure it out. And if not, we can have another call and I'll try to help you out with
okay,
that.
no problem.
But for now, I guess you have a slightly better understanding, right? And you have something to work with, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would like to have more a look at the code and I start getting familiar with it.
Cool. And what was I going to say? Do you have any other questions before I move on?
No, not so far. I mean, a million, but
Okay.
I have to read a lot, and
Yeah.
and then
Feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions or anything, because I don't know very well what you want to learn or what you're interested in or what you don't understand. So sometimes I might be explaining stuff that's not particularly relevant or doesn't make sense. Just feel free to interrupt me, okay?
Okay, thank you. But I think with the time I will get more questions.
Yeah, okay, cool. And also you can just send me emails or messages with Skype and I'll try to answer. Let me just explain one last thing, because you were saying about the German translations, and actually the client or one of them is this guy here, La Venta Mallorca, the free Heroku plan. So it'll take a few minutes to load up, but he's a German speaker, so he helped me with a lot of the German translations. So I think the translations themselves are more or less okay. But if your girlfriend gets the chance to have a look and review them, German here, and I think they're more or less correct. But yeah, it would be cool if she can have a look and just let me know. He actually hasn't a lot of his content. He hasn't bothered translating it. But
Okay.
what would be cool if your girlfriend could have a look at would be basically in the seed files. So basically, when you generate a new app, I generate some default content. And over here. So over here, I have some, just the standard content about find your home and about us and so on. It would be cool if she could do a version of this for German. So it's just literally save this as de.yml, and just wherever there's plain text, she just puts in some German text, and
exactly,
it would just give me some dummy content to work with. So that would be pretty cool.
No problem.
Cool. So I think that's everything. Yeah, play around a bit with it and maybe deploy like another instance just to see how. And when you feel it's a good time to migrate your old one, just give me a shout and I can give you a hand with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, because I think I would need some help with the migration, but we can do it later. It's not... I'm sorry?
When do you think you would want to do the migration?
I'm not in a rush, but
okay.
I don't know, whenever you have more time.
Okay, cool. With the fact that it's on the Heroku free plan, you know that the first time you access it, it's a bit slow to load, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that an issue? Like, do you want to deploy to a VPS or?
I think not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
It's fine. I understand that the free version just sleeps your application while you're not using it. So.
Yeah, there's some hack to kind of ping it every so often to wake it up, but I think every time Heroku is trying to make that not work so well, so probably you'll just have to live with that for now. But if you wanted to, DigitalOcean has like VPS service for €5. So
€5 a month.
You could potentially for a month, yeah. So that's quite cheap, and
yeah, actually, yeah.
So if you wanted to do that, I could help with that, but maybe first we'll do the migration on Heroku, and once that's successful, we can talk about hosting on a VPS or something.
Yeah, sounds great.
Cool. What else is there? Yeah, can you just spread the word about PropertyWebBuilder if you get a chance? If you go to any Ruby on Rails meetups or and any forums or anything like that. I want to try and get like a group of people interested, and even if like one thing I might do is right now it's a bit more stable. Like the last few months, I had these ideas about changing because basically I've created a CMS now, which it wasn't my plan originally, but in the end, to make people be able to add content to the interface and so on, I had to basically design a CMS. So, but it's now stable, and I want to sort of explain it to people and get more people interested. And it's not, I don't find it so easy to explain, but if I have a group of people who are interested and I do some hangouts and they ask me questions and what's confusing for people and so on, then maybe I'll be able to get the word out there and explain it better and get more people involved. So if you know any other beginners or any other people who want to, like, you know, use this as an excuse to learn a bit more about Rails and try stuff out a bit, and let's see if we can get like a bit of discussion going on around it. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. No problem.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I'll let you get on, and yeah, just keep in touch by email or Skype. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna try to migrate by myself, because if I messed up, then I leave this website down.
Yeah, I mean, there's no cost to create a new Heroku instance. Like, just literally click a button, deploy a new Heroku instance, and then let me quickly show you, because on the Heroku interface, you can actually just create a backup of the database.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You know,
yeah.
Yeah, so there isn't any big risk of losing data, and if you create a completely new instance and you try to import that data and it doesn't work, you just delete that new instance and then try again. You know, so there isn't too much of a risk, but it may be tricky. So if you try it and it doesn't work, just give me a shout. But there's no risk with just trying it out and seeing if it works on a new instance. Let's see.
Do you have a paid account on Heroku or something?
Do I have a paid account?
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
Because you had a lot of projects there.
Because Heroku doesn't charge you for having a lot of, yeah, there we go. So you can capture a backup, and
yeah,
later on, I think to import that backup, you might need to command line. I can't remember. But if you just create a backup, at least you have some security that if something goes wrong, you can restore from that.
Exactly.
The first thing I would do is just create a backup, and then from your Heroku account, just, you know, create and deploy a new app, and yeah, once you have the new app, there's some instructions somewhere about how you can access it from the console. And from the console, I think you can import a Postgres database, so you could try that.
Yeah, that has to be documented somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure it's documented somewhere. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna at least I'm gonna have some. I'm gonna test it out on a local environment or something.
On your local desktop, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you try. Have you done that yet? Have you tried? Have you run, like, created a new Rails application and then imported PropertyWebBuilder as an engine?
Yeah, I have.
You did that and that worked. Okay, cool. Because if you have that working, then all you need to do is go into the application and run 8 PWD, and it will get the latest version of the PWD gem. And
I'm sorry, I didn't get the comment. If I read what?
Sorry?
You said if I already have that, I should go and read which comment?
Let me just show you. So over here I have so PWD Heroku. Okay. So if I do bundle update PWB,
okay.
what that will do is it will go to the door and pull the latest version of the PWB gem.
Okay.
I already updated it, so in this case it won't change anything. But if the, let's see, so it hasn't changed anything because it was the latest version. But if you see, it's using PWB from there. Let's just I'll just show you what a gem file looks like. Where is it open that? No. Yeah, so I'm using the gem directly from see. Okay, so yeah, but yeah. So basically, this will get you the local the bleeding edge version. If you wanted to get the version that I've pushed out to Ruby gems, then you would say gem PWB and then the version number. But right now, I haven't released this latest version that I showed you as a gem on Ruby gems because I want to test it a bit more. So to use that, just use the GitHub repository directory. Over the next few days, I hope to and that everything's working okay, and then I'll push it as a version 2 gem. So you could use that after that.
Cool. No problem.
Does that make sense? Yeah, cool.
I think I have the same configuration.
Okay, any other questions? Sorry?
I think I have the same configuration. I go straight to GitHub to get the version.
Okay, cool. Cool. Is there anything that doesn't make sense or any other thing that I need to explain?
I guess not so far because again I should get familiar with the code more.
Okay, cool. Cool. Nice one. Well,
thank you for your time.
No worries. Good talking to you, and we'll talk again later.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, take care.
Have a great weekend.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.